Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good day I wish to all of you. Welcome to our forum for this week. My name is Rosemimie Aida, as your moderator for our forum today. Today, we are here to discuss and elaborate about our topic that become familiar among us, that is related to green technologies. If you wonder what a green technologies is, let me share a words to explain about it. Green technology, or also known as green tech, is an umbrella term that describes the use of technology and science to create products and services that are environmentally friendly. And the goal of green tech is to protect the environment, repair damage done to the environment in the past, and conserve the Earth's natural resources. It sounds great, right? But have you wondered? Is it possible to have any issues or challenge in this green tech, and what are the innovations to improve the issues that occurs? So that is the reason why we are here today. We will talk about issues and challenge or innovations that occurs in one of the green tech examples that we have chosen, which is known as biomass. What is biomass? Let me explain in general. Biomass is a plant or animal material used as a fuel to produce electricity or heat. Now you know a little bit about biomass. For further knowledge, we already invite for well-known panelists to describe this topic. So, before we proceed with this forum, I will introduce our all beautiful panelists that joined us today in this forum. On my right is Miss Divya Darshini Anak Perempuan KUMANAN, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation in Malaysia. Miss Nurul Izzati Binti Borhan, who is the Head of Technologies and in MBOD, Malaysian Board of Technologies, is just beside her. Well, on my left is Miss MAISARAH binti ABDUL AZIZ, who is the Head of Research Team in Pusat Penyelidikan Biotechnology and Nanotechnology, and Miss HIDAYAH binti ZULKAPLI, who is sitting beside her as her partner in same industry. They will be sharing their opinion on these matters and introduce us more about biomass. Ms. Divya, in your opinion, what is biomass? Its uses and advantage of it? Can you explain in more detail about it?
Good morning to all the panelists and moderator. Today I'm going to explain about the definition of biomass, uses and advantages of it. The definition of biomass fuel is that it is developed from organic materials which are a renewable and sustainable source of energy which is used to create electricity or other forms of power. Some of the examples of materials that make up biomass fuels are scrap lumber, forest debris, certain crops, manure, and some types of waste reduce. Researchers are trying to develop ways to burn biomass and fewer fossil fuels. Using biomass energy cuts back on waste and greenhouse gas emissions. Biomass offers other significant environmental and consumer benefits, including improving forest health, protecting air quality, and offering the most dependable renewable energy sources. The environmental benefits of biomass power generation using biomass fuel are clear. By using waste material for our fuel in our green energy plants, we prevent the waste from burdening our landfills even more, or being left to decay on the forest floor or the urban lot. In fact, our two recycling facilities in New Hampshire reuse or recycle an average of 80% of construction and demolition materials that they receive. There are many types of biomass. We use 4 types of biomass today: wood agriculture products, solid waste, landfill gas, and alcohol fuels. For wood and agriculture biomass, most biomass used today is homegrown energy. Wood logs, chips, barks, and sawdust accounts for about 79% for biomass energy today. But any organic matter can produce biomass energy. Other biomass sources include agricultural waste products like fruit pits, corn cobs. For solid waste, there's nothing new about people burning trash. Biomass power is also known as a carbon neutral electricity which is generated from the renewable energy waste, which are dumped in landfills, openly burned, or left as a fodder for forest fires. When burned, the energy in the biomass released is heat. For example, when you have a fireplace, you're already participating in the use of the biomass as the wood you burn in it as a biomass fuel. In biomass power plants, wood waste or other waste is burned to produce steam that runs the turbine to make electricity or that provides heat in industries and homes. Fortunately, new technologies include pollution controls, combustion engineering have advanced to the point in that any emission from burning biomass in industrial facilities are generally less than the emissions produced when fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oil. That's all from me. Thank you. Now I'll pass to the moderator.
Thank you, Miss Divya, for the great explanation. Now, we already know about biomass and the uses and advantage of it. Well, now we know the biomass gives benefits for its consumer and our environment, such as improving forest health, protecting air quality, and offering the most dependable renewable energy source. But instead of its benefit, biomass also can cause some issues. Is it true? So I would like to invite Miss Izzati to explain about this question.
Alright, many thanks to moderator. Good morning everyone. We know that no energy source is perfect, biomass included, and of course there are some issues to create this kind of energy, which is a large project cost. Costs can vary widely from biomass energy plant to biomass energy plant, and in some cases, bioenergy has the potential to be cost competitive with solar and wind. Overall, costs largely depend on the type of biomass and how it's converted to electricity. That said, even though biomass is often more expensive than alternative renewable energy explosion, the most expensive type of bioenergy are still on par with or cheaper than fossil fuels, does not require drilling into the earth, carries a high capital and environmental cost. Moreover, the inefficiency of using forest biomass to generate electricity makes it particularly costly. In fact, biomass power is California's most expensive energy source. Biomass power plants rely heavily on regulatory incentives and subsidies paid for by taxpayers and ratepayers. These biomass subsidies consume resources that would be better spent on the cheaper and truly clean solar and wind energy alternatives and the jobs they create. Next, most biomass requires arable land to develop. This means that land used for biofuel crops, such as corn and soybeans, are unavailable to grow for provide natural habitat. Well, biomass has a lower energy density and efficiency than fossils. As much as 50% of biomass is water, which is lost in energy conversion process. Scientists and engineers estimate that it's not economically efficient to transport biomass more than 160 kilometers, which is 100 miles from where they process. However, converting biomass into pellets as compost towards chips or larger briquettes can increase the fuel's energy density and make it more advantageous to ship. Another issue is high risk and low paybacks. Biomass energy plants are plagued by numerous uncertainties, including fuel price escalation and unreliable biomass resources supply. So, on behalf of that, project owners should consider other opportunities to increase their profit margins. One of these could be very well include trying out with the power exchanges, as is the case, for example, in India, which it could offer prices for the power that's sold at peak hour slot. The developer may also consider the option of merchant sales to agency, which are either in need of consistent power supply and persistently relying on the expensive backup means such as oil or coal, or are looking forward for purchasing green power to cater their corporate social responsibility, which is CSR initiative. That's all from me. Thank you. We are going back to the moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Izzati, for your genius explanation. So, it's already proved that the statement was true. That biomass also can cause some issues, but I was interested in one of the issues, which is about the larger cost of this project. So maybe we will be able to have more biomass project when our economy in Malaysia is stable enough after we struggle with pandemic COVID-19. If we are having some issues, there must be a lot of challenge before this project is totally complete, right? So I would like to pass this question to Ms. Maisarah for further explanation.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mimi, our beautiful and lovely moderator for today. Now I'm going to talk about the existing challenges of biomass. For your information, the challenges of biomass supply chain that related to different feedstock can be broadly classified into operational, economic, social, and policy, and also regulatory challenges. So first, for the operational challenges, it mainly occur because of the feedstock unavailability, where inefficient resource management and the government non-intervention approach the key factor hindering the expansion of the biomass industry. Next, for the operational challenges in regional and seasonal availability of biomass and storage problems, the seasonal variation results in the fuel price. As the energy density of biomass is low, acquisition of land or harvesting and storage is difficult. Then there is also pressure in transport section because of biomass moisture. Transporting wet biomass from the plantation to the production site becomes energetically unfavorable and costly with increasing distance. Secondly, for the economic challenges, there is feedstock acquisition costs where the biomass resources are scattered, and in order to reduce the cost of transportation, biomass projects are eager to occupy land close to the source, leading to centralization of biomass projects. In aspect of economic challenges, there is also limiting financing channels and high investment and capital costs. This happened because of decentralized capital, poor profitability, frequent fluctuation of international crude oil prices, and high market risk. Seldom investors took an initiative part in the biomass power generation industry. The biomass power generation is subjected to constrained excessive investment and high operating costs. Biomass pre-treatment technologies have extra costs which scattered farmers and small-scale fuel companies may not be able to afford. And you know what now? For the social challenges, it occurs because of conflicting decision where decision making on selection of supplier, location, routes and technologies is crucial and needs proper communication. By strengthening leadership and implementing the responsibilities, the stakeholders should be made fully aware of the economic, environmental, and social wealth of resource utilization, and there is also impact on the environment, which causes the biomass plantation depletes nutrients from soil. Impacts will result from installation of energy farms within rural areas, like increased need of service, increased traffic, and etc. You know what? The potential negative social impacts appear strong enough to ignore the benefit of new and permanent employment generation. And lastly, for the policy and regulatory challenges, these challenges occur in three aspects, which is policy, system, and regulation. In policy aspects, at present, the government is subsidizing the domestic fuel price, which in makes the electricity generating cost from conventional source lower than the power production cost from renewable fuels. In terms of system, there are no specific rules to regulate the works of utilization of biomass resource, and there are no specific penalties for not using behavior that should be comprehensively used. Then, lastly, for the regulation, there is no special mechanism to manage the development of biomass resource industry and no specialized department to manage the implementation of relevant national standards and policies. So, thank you. That's all from me. Now, I will pass back to the moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Maisarah, for your informative explanation. Now we already know that there are a lot of challenges that our scientists and technologists have faced to complete this project in different aspects which are operational, economic, social and policy and regulatory challenge. So, is there any innovation to improve this matter? Now, now I will let Ms. Hidayah explain about this question.
Thank you, moderator. So as we have seen here, biomass is a sustainable energy source that can easily replace the use of conventionally used fossil fuels, while at the same time offering several positive environmental advantages. The efficiency of biomass energy into power, heat, transport fuels, and chemicals depends largely on the various thermochemical and biochemical methods used for its conversion. The key features associated with biomass efficiency are its renewability and neutral carbon dioxide impact. Moreover, biomass is the only truly renewable carbon source that provides energy storage, unlike other sustainable energy forms, such as solar or wind, whose energy is produced at a time and needs to be stored in batteries. Technological improvement and development has always been the driving force in the history of mankind. The main historical changes that have helped us improve our quality of life has been the use of tools, the agricultural revolution, and the industrial revolution. Today, the renewable energy revolution is underway with a variety of sources such as solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and biomass energy being developed. The key challenge is to develop energy-efficient conversion processes and technology that can compete with our use of fossil fuels, and none are more important than those which deal with the efficiency of biomass energy. Biomass fuel is a fuel source or derived from living or recently living organisms. This generally consists almost entirely of plant material, often wood, but also can be plant and animal matter. Sources of biomass are so abundant and easy to create. They are able to undercut the cost of other fuels such as fossil, solar, and wind. So, there are several innovations that can be applied other than using biomass as a fuel. Firstly, the innovation is the renewable jet fuel from industrial waste gas. Commercial airline Virgin Atlantic announced that it will use the renewable jet fuel produced by LanzaTech, which will begin with a proving flight in as early as 2017. It is stated that LanzaTech used a process that converts carbon-rich industrial waste gas, such as carbon monoxide, from a steel production to a fuel for an airplane. LanzaTech, with the help of Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, developed this process by beta funding that can provide a sustainable source of renewable jet fuel that can reduce the greenhouse gas emission in the transportation sector and provide an innovative solution to industrial waste management and many more ways to scale up the renewable fuel innovation. Next, the innovation that can be applied is agar scrubbers, filters and clean up pollution. Scientists have been tapping into the idea that bacteria bring benefits to the environment. Researchers at Sandia National Laboratories are using beta funding to investigate how to develop agar scrubbers, which is long thread like algae that could be strategically installed near stormwater or wastewater runoff sites to absorb excess phosphorus and nitrogen from agricultural sites. This is because an excess in phosphorus and nitrogen can harm aquatic ecosystem. However, agar scrubbers can solve this problem. Moreover, the algae can be converted into biofuel. Lastly is the biofuel from sludge waste. With this beta funding, Pacific Northwest National Laboratory and its industry partners are working on developing a technology to produce biofuel from wet waste at water treatment plants. If you wanted to know, the United States treats approximately 11 trillion gallons of municipal wastewater, generating 7 million of dry sewage sludge. Managing and disposing of this sludge is costly, accounting for nearly 45% to 65% of the fuel could provide an economical alternative and could transform today's water treatment plants into a new generation of water resource recovery facilities. That's all from me. Thank you. I'll pass back to the moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Hidayah, for sharing your knowledge with us. So, there are many innovations in biomass that we already know of.
After this sharing. So, here we can conclude that biomass is one of the green technologies that give benefits to us. Biomass can
Methods that helps us to improve our earth to become green again. Thank you to the audience to attend this forum, and also to the panelists about their sharing. And that's all about that is the last session for forum today. So thank you.